Hi friends, so you are welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, you are most welcome. This is the USMLE Booster channel, and I dedicate this channel to helping students who are studying for USMLE Step 1, Step 2, Step 3 through to residency. Any information that I have that is relevant, I'm gonna put it right on this channel. So you want to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. If you're also a returning subscriber, you are most welcome. And all my subscribers who have passed the exam successfully, I want to say big ups to you all. There are a few people who tell me, hey Jerry, before I met your channel, or before I met you, I was struggling, but due to your suggestions, I've seen a change in my studies, and some have gone to the point of passing their exams. I'm saying a big congratulations to you all, and I'm also happy to be able to assist people. So if you're also someone who my videos have helped you in your step 1 mostly, and now I'm going to do step 2 videos, hey, you want to just email me or comment on one of my videos, or comment on this particular video and tell me how my videos are helping you, so that can encourage me to keep doing new videos for people. In this particular video, what I am doing, I've always been wanting to do it, but I think today is that day that I have to do it. So I took my step 2 exams in August 30, and I got the results back in September 14, and I had a 250. And I know you all know it because I always update my subscribers. I'll post my scores, I'll post my assessments, I post everything, words of encouragement and everything on my community page on YouTube. So yes, a lot of people have been asking me what exactly I did. Now I'm summarizing everything in this video from when I started my studies, pre-dedicated to dedicated, when I started doing my NBMEs and everything. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did in the last three weeks to my exam, what I did, and on the final day, what I did. So if you haven't subscribed, you want to subscribe. If I'm talking too fast for you, you can slow down the video. If I'm also speaking too slow for you, you can speed up the video. You can increase the speed of the video. And yes, I'll try to find a balance so that everybody can understand me. And pardon me that English is not my first language. I had to learn English in order to be able to do this. So now I'm gonna start from my pre-dedicated. So my pre-dedicated started around February 2022, so 20th of February 2022. And before then, let me go back a little bit, because I did my step 1 I think July 28th 2021. And when I got my score back, I had to start prepping for step 2, but I didn't start right away. I went to work to have some savings so that I can come home and then just sit home for step 2. So I worked for 6 months, from November to January, something like that. September, October, November, December, January. So I worked for 5 months, and then I made sure that I saved some money, so that when I'm home, I can at least afford my rent and be able to put some food on the table. And when I was working also, I made sure I paid off my car, so I didn't have a lot of burdens on me. Now let's see. So from February 20, I started with a study partner, which I always recommend, because study partners are very important. They complement your effort, they complement your energy. A lot of things, you can talk about things that you cannot talk to other people with your study partner. And then if you start studying with someone and then you guys have that chemistry, you can continue with step 2 and step 3 also, like that. So it's like that. And even when we go into residency, there's this person that you want to call and maybe gossip, or I don't know, or just talk about something that is bothering you, like just to relieve that stress from your chest. So you want to start with a study partner. I did step 1 with a study partner, very good results for me. Step 2, study partner, very good results for me. So we started. So when I say we, it refers to me and my study partner. So we started with UWorld. We did subject wise. I think if you select the shelf review, it will give you subject wise. We started with internal medicine, IMED, surgery, then OB, PEDS, like that. We finished that with I finished with 69% thereabout, and my percentile was kind of like, I think my percentile was in the 42 percentile for me, which was not the best, but we had to push on. I realized that during that time I had forgotten most of the step 1 concepts, because some of the stuff were pure memorization for step 1, and some also I knew them, but 6 months of not studying, I really forgot a lot of them. So we continued, and I think we got to 80 something percent, I think 86% around June ending. But at that same time, it was more like I had to do my OET, so I dedicated 2 weeks for OET. It wasn't like purely like every day studying for OET. It was USMLE, doing UWorld, QBanks, and also doing OET alongside sometimes when I have free time. And so on 24th June I did my OET. The results came back like almost 3 weeks after, and I passed it, so that gave me a relief. Also, I want to talk quick about the resources that I used. Is the same UWorld. I used first aid, the step 1 first aid. The step 2 first aid was not really helpful to me. I didn't really use it. Let me say. So UWorld step 1 first aid, because I had most of my annotations in it, and those information were so important to me, so I carried them over to step 2. I also did the final part. I did some amboss. I'll talk about it in my last 3 weeks. I went back to Pathoma to review some concepts. I'll talk about that also. And basically this is what I did, and I did Anki flashcards as well. So UWorld first aid, it's enough. Then you supplement some topics, like if you forget certain things on that are from step 1, you can go back to, if you like Boss and Beyond, you can watch for quick review. If you want Pathoma, you can watch that also, quick review, just for selected topics. I'll talk about that later. So I did my OET, and that was it. So at this point we were left with only mostly biostats and ethics. I think biostats and ethics questions. So it got to like we kept doing the biostat. We were not really doing well on it, and because of that we were not moving fast. Both of us were not so good at biostat. But then we got to the middle of biostat questions, and we decided now we've gotten hold of the biostat, but we didn't do all the questions. We did about 50% of UWorld biostat, and then we reset the QBank because time was running fast. Now like going forward, from July, the beginning of July, we started to do our dedicated. So that's when we reset the QBank, and we started with mixed block of UWorld. We started with, I think the first 2 weeks we started with 3 blocks of UWorld each day, and then we make sure we review all before we make sure we review all of them before we go to bed. So the first 2 weeks was purely 3 blocks of UWorld. Now again, we also decided to put down our final schedule from that time. So our final schedule was, I'll show them on the screen. This is it, you can all see it. So for the final schedule, we started with it began with on Wednesday, July 13, and so if you can see, we started doing an assessment almost every day. So the NBME, UWorld, we mix them, and the free 120 we schedule all these things. And so if you can see, in the second week or end of the second week of July, which is July 13, we did NBME 9, which I got 219. A week, almost a week or 9 days later, we did UWorld Essay 1. And the UWorld Essay 1, I got 216. It was heartbreaking because my study partner had done very well on this, and it was heartbreaking for me. So what I had to do was, I wasn't comfortable at all. So in order to be able to do well, I went back. I think that very night, my study partner, she did well, so she was chilling outside, you know. But I decided I'm not gonna take that time off, so I opened the rapid review of step 2 book, the rapid review section, and then it has rapid review on every subject: surgery, OB, and everything, internal medicine, emergency medicine. So I did the rapid review of that. If you open the back, you will see it. So I did that real quick, just to, like, you know, get some information back. Like, I felt like I'd forgotten a lot of things, so I did that night. And then the following day, when I had time, I did pathoma for some subjects. Like I increased the speed for pathoma. Like when I'm making food, when I'm doing anything, I'll just open pathoma. I did that for hematology mostly. So hematology, I did it for leukemias, because I had forgotten how to even diagnose leukemia at the time. Like if there are blood cells, if they are, like, if it's chronic leukemia, if it's acute leukemia, and all of that, I forgot them. But I went there back to review them, and then they also asked questions on the treatment of the various leukemias. So yes, I had forgotten them. So pathoma was helpful in that regard. I also learned I did a video for the platelet disorders. All of them, you want to remember them, because they really ask them on the exam. Hemophilias, they really ask them on the exam very, very much. You want to take them serious. I also did GI real quick. Yeah, because GI seems easy, but it's very not easy. It's not easy, it's hard. I also did MSK and skin. I did dermatology as well. So these 4 subjects that I did from pathoma for the first 2 days that I had dropped on my assessments. Before all this assessment, like, you know, I think I got 227 on AMBOSS, the free AMBOSS assessments. I got 227 on that. So when I started dropping like this, I didn't really understand, because even on AMBOSS, I felt like I wasn't ready for that. We just began studies. But yes, this was a reality check for me. Now, so here, the next thing I did after doing the pathoma and all that was, I had to start doing Anki flashcards immediately, because throughout my pre-dedicated, I didn't know Anki flashcard. What I was doing was I was writing notes. I had one notebook. I wrote everything, like all my incorrect questions, take notes in it. I don't get time to review it, so that is a big mistake. The next thing was that after my pre-dedicated, I think when we're doing OB, my one note got finished, and then I had to begin OB in another note. I didn't get time to read that also. So I would say that writing notes is not a smart way of studies. You might think you will come back to it, but even if you are coming back to it, there'll be no space repetition, because you are going to you are going to be reading the notes like from beginning to end. But if you do the Anki flashcard mixes the things for you. Like, it makes them random, so that you are not, that's my study partner. So this Anki flashcard mixes the things randomly for you, so if the space repetition is consistent, rather than you finishing the notes and coming back to begin it again. So I would advise you to do Anki flashcards. Now, in this Anki flashcards, I did my personal flashcards. Like, I didn't do the deck, like the pre-made deck, the Zanki and Co, because I felt like I had only 2 months, and also the Zanki had things that I knew, and if I'm learning something that I know, I don't want it because I know it already. So I was focusing more on the things that I did not know. Also, I forgot to mention that before we started the dedicated, we had finished our incorrect on the first pass. We went through it very, very fast. I think with that, since we had different incorrect, we did not do it together. We all gave time to each other, like ourselves, to do it separately. So I was able to finish mine totally. My study partner wasn't. I'm not trying to like put up a challenge here or compare, but I just want to tell you how our study went. My study partner, since she had more incorrect on the first pass, she wasn't able to finish, but we reset everything. So yes, I was able to finish it. And so I was talking about the flashcards. Yes, so with the flashcards, very important, please pay attention to it. So When I realized that my scores were dropping, I started doing my flashcards. Like my secret to my flashcards is that I used the UWorld. I used the UWorld note, the table, the UWorld tables of my incorrects as flashcards, and I asked the questions in the flashcards as I want to remember it, because if you miss a question, there's a reason why you missed it. So I use that reason to ask the questions, and I bring the table. Sometimes I'll highlight what I want to remember, yellow highlight, and take a photo of it and put it in my flashcard. And so when I'm reading, I focus on that. Sometimes I take a photo of the whole screen when the full explanation is needed to be remembered. I think that I use command and plus or minus to like make the screen small. I take a photo of the whole screen, and I'll put all that in my Anki flashcard. Next was the next important thing I did for the flashcards was that, for example, there were some topics in the first aid that are very, very high yield. Like if you take the page that has the immune deficiency disorders like the SCAD, common variable, Chidiac Higashi, and all that, the whole page is important. On the exam, you are going to meet it like just like you will meet questions on it, and it's something that, because it's a lot, you should expect questions on it. So I would take a picture of the whole first aid page of that side and insert it into my flashcard. So anytime I am doing a flashcard and I reach that question, it means that I'm reading the whole page. Another smart thing I did was for the topics that were the sphingolipidosis, like Niemann-Pick, and those topics, the Niemann-Pick, Tay-Sachs disease, and all that. Like I made sure that I took a picture of the whole page. Now, I also did this also for the platelet disorders too, and also I did that to separate the various neurodegenerative disorders like the Alzheimer's. I make sure that I'm able to differentiate them very well, Alzheimer's from like Parkinson and Lewy body dementia and all that, and they are very helpful. They were helpful to me on the exam, but let me not go too much into that. Later I can talk about that. Now I did the flashcards, and they were very, very helpful to me. So yes, we went into the exam. We had done it was 40, the UWorld, I think we did like 46% of UWorld on the second pass, and also my score on that at the time was 70. My second pass score was 70. I can display it on the screen. I think it's 79 or so, but my first pass was 69. So yeah, sorry, my second pass was 75. It's actually 75. So I was at 75% in the second pass, and I had done 43% of the UWorld before going into the exam. Now let me tell you what I did in my last 3 weeks. That is the deal breaker. Like after everything, you want to do these things to increase your scores on the exam, so that from my analysis, I felt like on my exam there were about 5 questions from these topics on every blog. So if I multiply 8 by 5, it's like 40. So if I'm getting every question correct from these topics, that's 40 points already. And I know very well that some of the questions carry more than 1 point. So if you're getting about 40, or even are getting 20 out of the 40, you are doing great. So one thing was I did AMBOSS. In AMBOSS, I did quality improvement, I did ethics, and patient safety. But for these, there was no time to read all the notes as some people suggest. So I only selected those questions from AMBOSS and did those questions. If you can subscribe to AMBOSS, I think they have a free account for 5 days. I used that. And so, but you should subscribe so that they can also make some money, as we are benefiting, they should also benefit. So I did these questions, and I made sure I read every details from their explanations. And if For example, like there's a topic like the biases, availability bias, and it's like different types of biases, like, you know. So those topics, because it's hard, I made a note of all of them and reviewed them before, like a day before the exams. I made sure I reviewed all of them. So any notes that you take from quality improvement, patient safety, ethics, you want to review it a day before your exam. That should be your final cheat sheet that you are using. Also, in the final 3 weeks of our prep, we did 2 blocks of UWorld a day. We scaled it down. It's no more 3 blocks. Now it's 2 blocks so that we can have enough time. And when it was like the final 1.5 weeks, we did so that's when we were doing this quality improvement from Amboss. So in the morning we'll do 40 questions mix of this quality improvement, ethics, and patient safety. We do 40 questions on that. Then after that we will do a block of UWorld, and then that will make 80 questions in a day. Then after all that, I will do my flashcards, have good sleep. You know, I made sure I slept well towards the end of my exam. And now let me talk about the final day. And if you have any question, just put it in the comment box. I'm gonna answer them. So on the exam day, what I did was I made sure that I prayed. So you want to make sure that you pray into whatever you believe. If you believe in God, you believe in Allah, if you believe in anything, this is the time you need them the most. So you pray and have that hope in you. So I knelt down in my room and I prayed to God that just as he has done for other people, he should not leave me out like that. So you too, you can pray and ask God for that favor. Now, before, the next thing was that before, like a week before, I met a doctor, a family doctor, family practice doctor, and then she told me, like, when she was writing the exam, I mean, she's an older doctor, but when she was writing her exam, she was on a train to the exam center in Bronx, New York, and someone called her that her mom had died or something, and so she failed her exam because of that, because it had some mental toll on her. So for me, I took a cue from that, hey, let me leave my cell phone at home. I put it off and left it at home so that I don't have any disturbance. So hey, you want to leave your cell phone at home because you don't want to come back from the from in between the blocks and be pressing your phone. You just have to focus on only the exam on that day. It's not the best for people to also accompany you to the exam, because when you come back from one of the blocks, like if you do first block and you are going to you are taking a break for this between the second block, you don't want to talk to people. You want to think about, how did that block go? How did I do? Was I slow? Was I too fast? Was I not analyzing? Like, you need to think about the previous block and re-strategize going into the next block. So it's not advisable. I'm not saying don't. It might work for some people, but for me, that is my take on this, that when you bring people to the exam hall or the exam center, what is going to happen is that instead of you focusing on the exam, you'll come back and be talking to them. And during my prep, I saw a difference. Like, anytime we were doing like an NBME, like after each block, I'll call my study partner, then we discuss that. We will say that, hey, did you click this? Did you do this? Did you see this question? What did you do? But it wasn't helpful. So there was a point I'm like, I feel like my study partner is dumping her anxiety on me, because when we start the block, I will do well in the first block. Then she will start saying, I didn't do well, I didn't do, like, you know, and all that. So at the end, she would do well towards the end, and then she would do better than me, but I would dip. I would do all from the beginning and dip towards the end. So I feel like she's dumping her anxiety on me, and I've told her also this, so I'm okay saying it in the video. I told her, so we decided that I'm not gonna call her until we finish all the 4 blocks for NBME. And when I did that, anytime we did that from there, the first time we did that was when we did the NBME 11, and I got 241, and that was the NBME that I'm not sure, but I think that's the NBME that she failed. She failed that one because she didn't dump her anxiety on me, and I didn't. take her anxiety. So you want to focus on your exam, like just have all your full attention on the exam. After each block, think fast, what could I have done better, and take that into the next block so that you improve. Don't take your mind away from the exam when you finish one block. Now, next thing is that I made sure that I pee in between each block. I think I have a very small bladder, so anytime I'm writing exams, like in the middle of the block, I'll feel like peeing. So after every block, I'll go and empty my bladder real fast, and if I need to grab some food, I'll just eat something very fast and make sure that I do all that within like 7 minutes. Just eat very fast and drink some water. If I need an eye drop, I'll put it. Eye drops have been very helpful because it cools your eyes down, like there's no blurriness, like it just moistens your eyes, so it's good. It's something that you might want to try as well. Those of you who have not tested your eyes, remember that you've been looking on the computer screen over a very long time, and then your eye, the focal point of your eye is changing. The lenses are getting weak, you are becoming short-sighted, so you want to get your eyes tested. Glasses improve reading. Glasses also prevent your eyes from getting tired when you are taking the exam. That has been helpful to me as well. Next thing is that in my exam, like I saw somebody, like the font size for their screen was very small, and I felt like I use command and or control and plus key on the keyboard to adjust the size of the font. So if something that you can also do, I know you might know it, but I'm just saying it for anyone who does not know, so that when you go and then you are testing the screen and those test questions and all that, you want to adjust the font with control or command and plus or minus to adjust the font. Also, when you're prepping, do these things to adjust the font to suit your eyes. Don't be struggling to read the words. Also, the final strategy on the exam is that eliminate rather than trying to choose the right answer. If you meet a question that you don't know the answer right away, eliminate those that you don't know. And if you are left with something that you don't know, leave it, that is the answer. Just leave it and move on. Because if you are trying to cancel an answer because you don't know it, that might be the answer. So if you don't know a question, you don't know the answer to a question, try to eliminate and give reasons like, okay, this cannot be the answer, this is not the answer because they are saying this. If you see anything in the question that negates an answer, that rules out an answer, cancel that answer out confidently. Do not think maybe this is the answer. Once you see something, again I'm repeating, if you see anything in the question that tells you that an answer is not the answer, do not choose that answer as your answer. Cancel it out. Okay, so that is something that was very, very helpful to me. There are a lot of vague questions on the exam. People say they are vague. You know why? Because there are answers in there that you've never seen on your you've never seen in your prep. There are such answers. So you really want to pay attention. If you see a vague question, eliminate those answers that you think are not right, and then leave whatever is there, whether you've heard it before or not. That is the answer. Just leave it like that. So thank you. Let me just run through my my NBMEs real fast. So NBME 9 was 219, USMLE 1 216 a drop. NBME 10 was 238. That was an improvement. I told you what I did in between. In between that, I did what I told you already in the video, so you can go back there and watch it. And NBME 11 was also an improvement, 241. USMLE 237. I dropped a little bit, but I made flashcards out of all that to improve. And 120 was 68%. I did this from the Prometric Center so that I have some stress relief when I go into the exam. And also 2 days before my exam, I did NBME 12, and I got 225 on that. It did not scare me, but what it helped me to do was that it told me I'm not comfortable yet. Again, I reviewed only the incorrect questions because there was not enough time. I reviewed only the incorrect questions for NBME 12, and at least I got 2 questions from similar to the NBME 12 questions that if I hadn't missed it like 2 days before the exam, I could have missed on the exam. So yes, it's something that was helpful. So thanks so much. And my real deal score is there, you all know it already, is 250. These are the things that I did that helped me. I hope my journey is a motivation to someone. I hope my journey helps somebody. I hope someone learns something from this video, and I wish you all luck. If an average student like me, I don't even count myself average, because when I started, like, I knew nothing. Like, I was getting 5/40 on when I started step 1. 5 when I do a UOL block, I was getting 5/40. So yes, everybody can do this. It might take you longer time, but the principle is to make sure you are ready before you go into the exam. Even if it takes you longer time, there are programs that are looking for 10 years of graduation. Some are looking for 7 years and so don't be in so much rush. Make sure that you are in the middle of your studies before you book your exam. People say book it early and learn towards it, but what if you book your exam for 6 months and you are now starting to prep, and within 6 months you don't know anything? Are you going to lose your $1,000, or you go in and fail? Please strategize very well, and I hope this video is helpful to someone. Share with your friends, subscribe, and give me suggestions, like things that I should do differently in the next video. Also suggest to me with the kind of videos that I should do, video topics that I should do. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again. I wish you all luck. Bye. Love you.